Hello, hello. What's up? What's up? It is a new day, it is a new week, and it's time to get social. My name is Kavana, and welcome to the Introverts Social Hour. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Introvert Social Hour. My name is Kavana, and this is our season finale of season one. Woo, woo, woo. This episode, I'm bringing on my friend Daniel to join the season finale celebration. Welcome, Daniel. Woo, woo. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah. Today first of all, how are you? How you doing? Ready for
I'm here.
2024?
I'm alive. I just trying to get day by day and trying to exist. So
Hey, that's
as
what it's
best as we
about.
can do.
Right. Just step by step.
Hmm.
Um, this episode we're talking about reflecting our 2023 and anticipating 2024 and hopefully more of like that positive anticipation, whatever that could possibly mean of what we look forward to in this coming year. And I'm super excited to talk about what we both want, especially, we're New Yorkers now. So,
Hmm.
the dreams are endless. Daniel came out here, so we are both in New York. Um, I'm excited though. This is where dreams are made of, right? Shout out to
Hmm.
Hillary. Uh,
Not Hillary.
what I am curious of, what's one word that describes your overall feeling about 2023? And I would want to know, why did you choose that word?
I would have to say overwhelmed, and I think like good and bad. I think this year has just been a lot of changes and transitioning and moving. I was living in DC and like not having the time of my life.
Mhm.
And so like just trying to figure out like what I wanted out of like my life, my relationship, my career, because it was not going the way that I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
And I think having the opportunity to move to New York and start a new position and like trying to figure out the things that make me happy and what I want to do have been fun and overwhelming in figuring out like what works, what isn't, and then like managing like mental health and doing that. It's definitely been a lot of transitioning, good and bad.
Mhm.
Not bad, just like exhausting.
Yeah.
But I think I'm with all of that, it gives me more to look forward to next year.
Mhm. I feel like that makes sense though, right? Because with these transitions and these like life updates, if you're not feeling like a bit overwhelmed or like unsettled, then
Mm-hmm.
it's not happening right. Like those have to happen with some uncertainty as well, right?
Yeah.
So that makes 100% sense. So that's how I felt 2022, which might I add though, what feels way longer. Like I know it was last year, but it feels way longer. But when I moved, it was kind of like that of like, oh my gosh, I'm moving. A lot of stuff was happening in between my move. I talk about it a little bit in my episode with my cousins. Like my great grandma died literally the day that I moved, so that was like a whole thing. So and then I came to the job, was stressed out, had my first gray hair. It was an interesting time, but that was needed. Like I think back now at this time period, and I wouldn't take back 2022 because it led me to growth here. Do I got extra wrinkles now? Yes, I have aged, but it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. It is what it is. Growth. So I would say mine is development. I was thinking growth, but I was like, I like development. Like I think I'm in a developing period of my life this year. Like I really challenged myself. Um, like how every year you choose like, oh, I'm gonna do resolutions
Mm-hmm.
or I'm gonna do this, and like it kind of loses its battle. So really like this year, I saw this on TikTok, I think last year, and they was like, make a I keep mentioning this bingo card. Maybe I'll like drop information on it on Instagram one day
Yeah,
or
I want to know
something.
what the bingo card is. You keep saying bingo, and I'm like,
I know. I'll show you after. I'll show you after.
okay.
Um, but I made the bingo card and I like held myself to it. I was like, nah, we about to get bingo. Like I like a good challenge. And that's what got me to take those steps. Like I did my first in-person audition. Um, I went to at this point now I've went to three. I got to audition twice because you know how Broadway be. But that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I auditioned for two, and that I could say I've done that. Like I'm a professional dancer, actually trying to be out here in this world and the struggle. Um, you know, I've grown as a dance teacher, I've grown as a dancer, as a dance choreographer because I'm also a dance teacher. So just things of just development. I started the podcast, figuring out how to podcast, just kind of jumped in, you know. Um, working on really just finding that balance. I think this year was like
Mm.
last year was so rough. I was like, I'm not about to like lose myself in the struggle of life. I was like, I'm not gonna be struggling in work. I'm not gonna like I need to find a place where I matter first. Like, what are my goals? I think it's so easy, specifically in the US culture of work, like to just get lost in the job because I think that's what
Hmm.
they want you to do. Um,
Capitalism.
yeah, that's how they set you up. Like, oh, you're working a 9 to 5. I work longer than that, by the way. But it's like, oh, you're working a 9 to 5 and you're gonna do this. And then if you're a teacher, you have more work after because teacher culture is like, you should be working at home. Like, we're
Hmm.
gonna give you way too much stuff and it's supposed to be due at the time it's supposed to be due, which does make sense. Um, but no, I like drew lines and I was like, nah, like at the end of the day, like this is not my end goal. I need to be working on my end goals and I'm not doing that. So that's why I was like, I developed, I found balance, you know? So that's my word. I do want to say, looking back, what were the most memorable moments or achievements for you in 2023? I have an idea because you did talk about moving. I just want to say, I feel like we really manifested that.
We
Um,
did. We and I think
yeah.
that's the part of like throughout all of like me being overwhelmed and me like
Mm,
all this stuff. I just like look back at like 18, 19, 20-year-old me being
mm,
like, oh, in San Diego and being like, I can't wait to one day live in New York and like do the things
mm,
and all this stuff. And then like hating my job in DC and within a month got a new job
mm,
and I'm here. Like, hold up,
mm,
wait a second. Let's take a minute. Let's like look at
mm,
that and actually appreciate that. Cause like, yes, my job, like nobody should be doing my job. Nobody should be stressed. Just a little bit of context for the listeners out there. I work
mm,
at a higher institution,
mm.
a very acclaimed higher institution. And with an acclaimed higher institution comes many a problem.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's really hard in dealing with all of that and having all like everything that has been going on, like losing people and with conflicts and all this stuff, trying to keep this politically correct so that nothing happens on this podcast.
You're good.
But like, it's hard to feel good about the decisions I made when it led me to have to deal with all these hard stuff.
Hmm.
And I know that I get to go home to my apartment in New York City that I don't pay for.
Hmm.
So
So
like
jealous of that.
on
Man,
the like there's things where I'm like, yes, all this sucks and it's really hard, but like
the
I got
balance.
myself here.
Hmm. Listen, the fact that you don't got to pay rent in New York, you're set. Because people are out of their mind. There are people out here paying $3,400 for a room.
Well, so over here, Patty Lapone and Aubrey Plaza are roommates up on the Upper West Side, so they live a couple blocks from me.
They're roommates? That's hilarious. What?
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Patty
Patty Lapone
LaPone and
and Aubrey
Aubrey
Plaza
Plaza.
are roommates on the Upper West Side.
What they doing? How they know each other?
That's what I mean. I guess once she got rid of her what's it called, card, her equity card, she probably had to do some other things. So now she's just making it work.
She said, huh, girl, move in with me.
Yeah, she's like, I need a roommate. Help me out.
LOL.
Like I'm like, those are the people who live in proximity of me. And I'm just
Mm.
out here chilling because I did the work to get here.
I mean, hey, have you seen her yet?
No, I need to. I need to.
Patty,
I'm gonna start going to
Daniel
like
is a
Trader Joe's or
fan.
stuff just to see her.
Patty doesn't go to Trader Joe's. She got someone else getting it for her.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, she got a
Well, I don't
whole.
know. Now without that equity card, maybe she got to do it herself.
Nah, she got a roommate now. She could scramble. She could
That's
scramble
fair. Be like,
Instacart.
Aubrey, can you go
She
get
could
that
get
for me?
Aubrey. Yeah. You might see Aubrey and then be like, Aubrey, let
That's fair.
Patty
I
know.
will. I will take Aubrey. Be like, hey, girlie. So, what's it like having Patty Lapone as a roommate?
Yeah. How did you figure this information out out of
It was all.
curiosity?
It was online. They
Oh,
announced it.
really?
Yeah.
That's
It was
celebrityism is
like,
funny.
I will say it's on like the Broadway.com like Instagram page. And it was like
Got it.
Patti LuPone and Aubrey Plaza become roommates in Upper West Side. And I'm like, Perry, love that.
Celebrityism is funny. That's what I call it. The celebrityism of it all. It's like,
Yeah.
cool. Who was like, this is news? It's okay. We're talking about it, so I
Yeah.
guess they were right.
I'm like, it got somewhere.
Yeah, I got somewhere. Um, yeah. So would you say outside of moving to New York, any other achievements did you make for 2023?
I think, LOL, that's a hard question.
If you don't celebrate
I'm
yourself,
gonna be completely honest in that I don't, not you telling me I don't celebrate myself. I honestly like feel, you know what? No, I this year got on my mental health stuff and I've
there we
really
go.
gotten to take care of myself because
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
was just really I was letting myself down.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, I'm not doing well and I need to do things to like
Hmm.
fix it. Shout out to non-sponsored ZocDoc because they really made
You're good.
finding
Not a
doctors
sponsor.
easier. Um,
Block block. Okay.
and because it's set up like social media and like it's
Hmm.
just easy to find things and search. And so I was able like got my like mental health, like got prescription and like was able to
Hmm.
talk to somebody and took care of like my physical health and went to see a primary care doctor, like all this stuff, which is stuff that I was always very hesitant with. Um, Also I lost like 30 pounds this year. So I think that too, I'll give
Hmm.
myself that. I went started going to the gym and here we are.
Did you do that on
Um,
purpose? Was like like a goal, or did you like? Because I know you talked about like
it
gym became
was
also like
so
a form of
this is
self care.
probably gonna jump to the question about resolutions. But I
Mm,
like I didn't want to make that a resolution coming into 2023 because
yeah.
I knew that if I did, I was gonna fail because I was gonna
Okay.
put so much pressure on myself,
Mm,
especially with going to the gym and losing weight because I had already had a hard time doing that. And so I didn't
mm,
want to put the pressure of like, if I don't do this, I'm screwing up my year.
yeah.
And so I kind of was like, I'm just gonna do it because it was helping with like my mental health. It was getting me out of the house.
Mm,
Um, and it was getting me to like meet people at the gym because living in DC is hard to make friends. And so like
mm,
finding different ways to do that. And through that, I like got like super like into it because I was able to just kind of when I worked out, nothing was in my head. And it was
yeah.
nice for it just to be quiet. And then the added layer of like physically, I felt better about myself and I feel like I looked better. And now I step
Mm.
out and I'm like, I'm hot. What about it? None of y'all can touch me.
Yeah.
Uh, and so like that really helped. And I think because of that, it got me comfortable to do I took a Vogue class.
Ooh, okay.
Um, and it was with the instructor was I'm gonna forget his
I was gonna
name,
say,
but
where did you go?
he
It was in
it's
New York? Or
I
no?
honestly think it's at the same studio where you're doing your thing, the Ailey Studios or whatever.
Haley? Yeah, who did
Yeah,
you?
yeah. I did it with did you ever watch Pose?
Yes.
Do you know the characters Cubby and then it was the other dude?
It has been a minute, so I realize
Let me
I probably should
see.
be like, yes, but it has been a minute. I don't think I know because
Um
I've taken a Vogue class, but I took at BDC and he doesn't teach there anymore. But it was with I think his name is
it's with
Cesar.
Jason Rodriguez,
Jason Rodriguez. I've heard the name though, but I know I've never
this
taken a class with
person.
him.
Oh, the
But
picture kind of stuck.
shout out to Jason
This
though.
person.
Yeah, I've seen his
Yeah,
face. Okay.
so I did it with him, and voguing is much more of a workout than anybody will say. I
Hmm.
was sweating puddles on the ground. Why do I look like an NPC? There we go. Um, I was dripping sweat. Like my abs were on fire, my legs were on fire. Like voguing is no joke.
Okay.
But I was out there and he like was like seeing that I was struggling because I was in my head and he was like, you don't have to follow the moves I'm doing. I'm showing you the moves to give you what you can do. Do what
Yeah.
you want. It's your dance.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much for giving me confidence.
Hmm.
But it was a lot of fun because I would have never done that. I would have never let alone a dance class, but
Mm-hmm.
with somebody who I'm like, I've seen you on TV and I think what you do is really cool. And like there
Mm-hmm.
was 20 of us in the class. So like it was 19 people I didn't know that I was
Mm-hmm.
sweating and dancing with. And it was just like so much fun. I have to go back and do it again. But
100%.
like doing it, like I want to I want to go try like Soul Cycle. I want to go try like a hip hop dance class.
We
I
should
want
take a
to
class
go.
together. I'll lower my level for you. Not
You know what? Yes, please, because I know I'm not going to be up there.
oh well. No,
Um,
I take beginner. Beginner's pretty good. I feel like you could do a beginner. But might I add, so I'm saying this for people who don't live in New York though. Beginner's still
is
higher.
yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like you could do a beginner. I would not
I'm
put
also
you
like
down to a
I did
absolute
theater in undergrad. It's not like I'm
yeah.
completely amiss from theater and dance.
Yeah. So
I'm
yeah, we
not at
should.
Kayvana's level, but
We should. I think it'd be fun.
I'm
So
down. I want to.
yeah, hip hop. I feel like you wouldn't want to do a contemporary class, and that's totally fine. So
You
let's
know, I want to try ballet.
I would take a ballet class with you.
The hesitation. The
I
hesitation.
what's so funny is I am ballet's strongest supporter because y- it's hard to be a solid dancer if you are not taking ballet or don't have experience in ballet.
Yeah.
I played myself. I didn't take ballet to my last year of college, and that was also during COVID. So I was doing ballet at home in my residence hall apartments. Um, but no, seriously, I now am I taking ballet every week? No, but it's super important. So I tell my kids that too. Like, nah, we about to do this ballet. I even had to learn more ballet.
You better
Teach
plie.
them. Yeah, you better do a little plie. Give me a rond de
Yeah.
jambe, tendu,
I also want to
dégagé.
do like I want to learn like tap. I want to do all that stuff.
When you're ready, let me know because I need to go back to low level.
Okay. Period.
I got humbled real quick. I hadn't taken tap since senior year of college.
Ah,
Hop back in. I said I'm gonna take a beginner tap class. I was like, yep, it's time to go back down to basic. Definitely time to go back down to basic. And that's okay.
period.
Perfectly fine. But no, tap, you gotta keep those ankles warm. The minute you
Yeah.
stop doing tap for even a month, it's over. So you gotta restart. That's just the dance as a whole, but tap for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Um, I totally cut you off, sir. Well,
I don't even know what I was saying.
yeah, I was like, wait, I'm usually pretty good at that. Um, but I do want to add on to that though of that development of you like taking classes and like it's good to see that you're taking those steps because not only are they like physical achievements for yourself, but it's also mental. I'm dance's biggest one of the biggest supporters on even if you're not trying to be a dancer, taking that class to step out of your comfort zone, challenge your vulnerability, being okay with looking a mess, quote to unquote,
And that was, I
or
think
looking
that was
different.
my biggest thing was like, how do I
Mhm.
get over feeling embarrassed or feeling like people are like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, especially in the Vogue
Mhm.
class with like people who had done it before. Like this
Yeah.
was their second, third class, and they were out there like, cat, 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 cat,
Pop,
eight.
pop,
And I was
pop.
like, my wrist needs to learn how to do that first before
Hmm.
I can start. But I like want I know me going back a second time is me pushing myself because I like
Hmm.
really don't want to be in that situation again. I really don't want to be embarrassed like that again. But I know I want to do it.
But here's the thing, Daniel, and I tell my kids this too. Nobody's really popping off and looking at you like that because
I
everyone's
know.
probably thinking the same thing and they're struggling. Easier said than done to confirm that in your brain.
Yeah.
But because fun fact, even me as a person who's been like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and be a professional dancer. Like I'm still over here like, my tondu isn't clean. Someone's looking at me like, girl, what you trying to do? You're trying
Like
to
I will
dance for
say,
professional?
I give you major props for auditioning in person
Thank you.
because I know that shit, sorry, that
Listen,
stuff
you're good. I'll make
is
sure I know what
not
you're supposed to say.
easy.
Listen, I got humbled. So while I'm very proud of myself for doing it, I let the audition. I'm so proud of myself though, because once again, developing mentally as a person, and my my growth, um, not the most confident person, but working on like being confident in my ability,
Mm.
at some point. Um, and I was like, oh, they're teaching how fast? My brain don't brain. I don't know if I said this, but I'm pretty sure. And I'm not just trying to be like, oh, I'm just throwing this out there. You know how people are like, oh yeah, uh, PTSD. Like, no, I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD, and that's okay.
I
I'm
was recently
pretty
diagnosed with it.
see, there we go. I'm pretty sure I do. And I just like it is what it is. So for me, my brain runs a mile a minute. And sometimes I over focus, hyper focus, and to the point where then I'm not really focusing as well as I should. It's really annoying. So when I'm in an
Hmm.
audition room, really trying to be like, okay, they did this step, they did this, da, 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 I miss it. I'm over here trying to dance and I'm missing everything and I look a mess because I don't know what's happening next and I'm blending all the moves and doesn't look as clean. I went to an audition for a modern dance company. They taught two different pieces. They split us up into groups. They taught each piece for like 10 minutes. They gave us like 10 minutes. We went over with music like twice at best. And we're like, okay. They were like, let's go. Group two, group one, group three. I said, what? I tried my best. I was like, I'm getting eaten up right now.
Oh no, 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 no,
I
no.
was like, in those moments, and I've talked about this, a crisis of confidence episode, like those are the moments where I'm like, dang, did I choose the right career? But no, no, that was a moment, that was an experience, and that's okay. I got to
And on
challenge
to the
my audition
next.
muscles. I got to challenge my audition muscles, and that was why I said, nah, I'm gonna go to an audition in person. I didn't expect it to go on like, oh, I'm gonna serve this role. I'm gonna try to get the role, but it's just for experience. The average person auditions over 200 times before they even book something. And so, it's the life I chose, but I'm going for my dreams. So that's what
Good.
I'm doing instead of deciding to just go with the more realistic choice and be miserable. I refuse.
And can I just say, you are the first person, and
Hmm.
obviously it's made it easier since I've moved here, where I want to try and do the like theater part here now that I'm here. I'm like, I have my full-time job, it's paying my life. Let's go do something that I want to do. And if it works out, peace
You're
out.
here. Yeah.
Exactly. So I've thought about like starting to take like acting classes in the city.
Hmm.
Um,
Can we do those together too if you find any?
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, yes. Yeah, I don't want to do that shit alone. I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I already get stressed out going to stuff alone, going grocery shopping alone,
Oh man,
especially
this
in
is
this
where we are
city.
opposite. Yeah. I love a good alone moment.
I'll
That's
go to the gym
hilarious.
alone and go live my life like that. But like
Mhm.
an acting class, I need moral support.
Yes, okay. Will call me. Let me know when
Here.
you yeah. Um the try. That's the important part. Maybe that should have been my word. Develop the try
Because
development.
I'm
I
like,
don't
I
know.
think about like Jessica Voss. She was working on Wall Street up until like 5 years ago, auditioned for a Broadway tour, and now look at her.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. I always think about Viola Davis. Now, yeah, she did go to Yale, but she had a gap period. She wasn't out here. She didn't go straight into work. Like people
Taraji
weren't
P.
looking.
Henson too.
Taraji, like I think of all those people. So I'm just like, maybe it doesn't come when I would like it to. I would love to be a spring chicken. In my younger years, being able to support my family, not to get too dark, but like, I do worry, like we get older and I do worry about like, I want to make it happen before,
Yeah.
other things happen. But I am also just like, the time will come when it's time to come. The whole purpose is though, you cannot give up. And so that is where I'm at. The biggest thing too is as a dancer, the bones be boning. I hit 25 and my body said, shake.
Creak, creak, creak,
Right.
creak.
Crack, crack. Yeah. Like literally my knee said, girl. I said, no, girl, fix it
My lower back.
because, oh, see, So nope, we're about to get these hips together too. It's all about mobility and strength.
Yeah. And
So
that's why I will say
yeah.
that going to the gym, that also I'm like, it'll help with my body
Mhm.
being able to do more.
Yeah.
Like when I was able to pull myself up on a bar, I was like, yes, put me on
Yeah.
stage.
And then yeah, no, I don't like the gym. Um, but put me in a dance class or, I'll strengthen stuff, which is why it's bad because like in dance, you're probably not always going to work on your hip. or work on your
Mm.
hamstring. You're gonna work them out, but I'm talking about as far as like strengthening them. My calves are strong because I'm a walker. But I need to strengthen my hamstrings so they're not always sore every time they get moved or my hips, and
Mm.
then that's all connected to why my knees sometimes act up because I got weak hammies and weak hips and it's all connected. Look at me learning stuff, you know? So that's the goal here. But for achievements, I would say that, yeah, look at me learning more. Um, for 2023, getting those first auditions and experiencing it in person, taking that first big step, quite honestly, to because I hadn't done it yet since I moved out here. Like last
Hmm.
year, I totally lost sight, to be quite honest, of the
You were
goals. I
also adjusting to like, because what you were here for, it only
like
been your like, yeah,
a week and a half, I think, and I started my job, and then my job was like, oh, plot twist. I know we said this, but here's what's happening actually. I didn't take my first dance class until May, and I moved in
yeah, that's
January.
wild.
Yeah. And then I just lost consistency over time. And there be times where I didn't take a dance class. I think this happened this year too, to be quite honest. But I was trying to save money because they're also expensive. So I was trying to save money for Disney World, so I paused on the dance classes.
And that's why I
Um,
like the Vogue class because it was 20 bucks.
yes, which is still good. Daily is the cheapest, or was the cheapest. I think they kind of matched up now a little bit. Broadway and Steps are almost neck and neck. Sometimes Steps, though, when they have a specialized class, they go up to like 28.
Mm.
I also look out sometimes for dancers I follow who are doing their own little specialty class at like Ripley or something, and I'll check it out. Usually they're a bit cheaper because they understand the struggle
Mm.
of a dancer. I haven't been to Perry Dance yet, but
I've heard
I
of that one though.
yeah, I think they also might be around the 25 range. Um, but hopping back in though, that was like an achievement in itself, being able to hop back in, um, and being consistent, doing a performance in the first time in 4 years, even though I paid for it, no one paid me, but it's okay. I knew what I needed. I needed to perform to challenge myself. So just things like that. Um, what were so we talked about it a little bit, but what were some challenges or setbacks even that you faced in 2023? And how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think the biggest one was just I like when I graduated grad school in 2022 and moved to DC to my job, I really wanted because like it had been 2 years since I'd been in a city. I like wanted to be back in a city. It was a major city. I mean, like Washington, DC, like I would have never thought I was gonna live there.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to like it, but I think wasn't being paid enough.
Mm.
Making friends was hard. The people in the city were just so like political. And so like if you weren't there for politics or for finance, like get a life.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's just like, and then like some cultures were taught, it was just like not what I thought it was gonna be. And so it really like put me in a headspace of like, what do I want? Like, is this job even what I want to do? Is this where I want to be? Should I be moving home? Like, can I even financially think about moving where I want to? Am I gonna have to go somewhere where I just have to deal with it until I can save up money and do all that stuff? And so I think coming into this year, because October of last year was when I really took a hit of like, I'm not enjoying my situation. Um, and the beginning of this year, leading up to the move and everything, and me trying to find another job, I had applied to like so many and kept either getting no interviews, or I would get to like the second round
Mm.
and then it wouldn't continue. And it was just really discouraging because I think for me, I was like, okay, I went to grad school to do all of this. I put in the work here at this school. Like, why am I like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
What am I doing that's not getting me to where I want to get to?
Mhm.
Um, and it was just like it wasn't good to be in that mentality. And it really set me back like emotionally and mentally because I was like, well, then like, why am I doing this? Why should I
Mhm.
even try? And like the part of the job that I do well, which is caring, I wasn't doing anymore
Mm.
because I didn't have the capacity to care.
Mm.
Um, And I think that's where I was like, I need to leave. I need to go somewhere else. And so getting this job and coming here, it really helped with all of that. And this job is still hard. And so I think I'm still in a little bit of that setback of like, what do I want to do? What
Mm,
do I want to do with my life, with my career? Which is why, like, right now, I'm currently 3 weeks away from submitting my application to do my PhD. I know.
nice.
Um,
Okay.
because like I want to teach and I want to be able to teach in a
Mm,
way where like we're talking about the things that we need to talk about. We're talking about
mm,
being humans. We're talking about our identities and how that impacts the way that we live, especially in a city like this. I want to be in those conversations and I'm not able to right now, or at least not in the way that I want to. And that's really
mm,
like, I don't want to do this job long term. And I have figured that out
mm,
very quickly. But I
mm.
think where I'm at now is like, so then what do I want? And I think
Okay.
that is what I'm carrying, what I have been carrying this whole year and what I will probably carry into next year. What do I
Mm,
want? Whether that's okay, I'm gonna go audition for a Broadway show and this is what I want to do. Or
mm,
like I want to start taking writing classes so I can practice writing. So what that looks like.
mm.
Um yeah, yeah.
First of all, I just want to say this is really exciting because we've talked about that journey of theater, and I'm really excited for you. Um, Assuming you decide to officially hop back in. Because don't let the world tell you you can't do something. So I am excited. Um, I also want to say that you're creative, Daniel. You're creative. So whatever that looks like for you, I definitely think even if you decided this isn't it and you say you decide to be a professor, you're still gonna find something creative to do, whatever that is. So it never leaves the bones.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. I'm
It's
telling
true
you, my
though.
medication has me so emotional. Every little thing makes me cry.
No, you're good. I also just think you're an emotional being. So, this is where we oppose. I'm not 100%. I'm can be emotional. I'm not as emotional though. I think I
I
have
am
more of a
I'm an empath through and through.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, definitely as a creative, I can agree with the idea of like, luckily enough in my job, I still get to be creative, but I'm still structured in that like 7:30 to 5 life. Um, and needing to do this and that. And I kind of hate, fun fact, I kind of hate the idea of like being under management. Especially for I talked about this with other dance teachers who are not in my school system, by the way, um,
Hmm.
who are under management of people who don't understand what you're doing, like who can't respect your craft and respect what you're doing. I would love in a perfect ideal world, this is the goal for next year. Let's manifest it. In a perfect ideal world, I'm working part-time, but it's enough for my pockets. So I'm teaching dance classes. It's, let's goal here 50 plus an hour, let's do that. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm in rehearsals, doing a show or something. My business, my sticker business on the side is popping, so that's extra income. My podcast is popping, so hey, maybe I get a sponsorship. Maybe. I could pay my guests. That's an ideal world where I'm actually making money off of it. So we're manifesting here. Um, but yeah, all of it's creative. Like I want to be able to explore all of my outlets. That's why I always say like Kiki Palmer is my girl. Like she's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and you're
I
not gonna
love
hold me back.
Kiki.
Like, yeah, like you can't. She's like, no, you're not about to just call me an actress. You're not just about to call me this. No, I like drawing. I like being creative. I like making stickers. I love reading. And when I'm not a teacher, I'm gonna become a book talker. I've said this. I'm gonna become a book talker. I'm about to get these free books and I'm about to talk about the books I do. I do it anyways. People say, like, what do
Exactly.
you do? What do you do for free? And could you make money off it? Yes, I definitely could. So I was like, it just gotta, a certain point, we gotta get there. So that's the plan. So I'm not structured. I'm not a I'm not a 9 to 5 girly. That's not what life is supposed to be. I don't think you're supposed to be in one place for 8, 9 hours a day. Like I like the idea of, ooh, I got this. Now I gotta go here and I gotta go here. That's why I was vibing in college. Like I had 3, 4 different jobs, but I
Hmm.
was like, ooh, it's never boring, you
Yeah,
know?
you
Like
were all over the place in
I was
college.
all
It's like,
over the
where's
place.
Kayvana? Kayvana's at the job. Where's Kayvana at home? Where's Kayvana at class? Where's Kayvana at rehearsal? Where's Kayvana at
Right.
RA meeting?
Literally, I was hopping, okay?
Where's Kayvana at
So
Disneyland? Where's Kayvana?
mhm. So that's what I'm saying. So I would like to go back to that, but in an adult world setting. That's the goal. Um, I am curious, do you have like any new passions or interests outside of like because I don't know, would you include gym as like your passion? Or like what are the things that developed this year for you that maybe
Yeah.
might not have been expected?
Uh, I don't, this is gonna be really sad. I think because of how much stuff was going on, I don't know if I've found things
Mm,
this year where I'm like, oh wow, that brings me joy, brings me like,
mm,
yes, the gym, but I think because of this job, I've just gotten a little bit inconsistent. So like I will like when I went to the gym, that was my thing of like I was able to shut out the rest of the world. And I think
yeah.
because of just how chaotic it has been the last 2, 3 months, that's been hard.
Mhm.
Um, so like I don't, this is gonna be so sad. I don't know if I necessarily have
Okay.
anything right now where I'm like, this brings me joy or it's feeding my passion or my heart. And I think that's what I'm in the process doing of
Yeah.
like what can I do or what do I need to do or what do I want to do
Mm.
that does this for me. And I think like me going to that Vogue class was like me trying
Figure it
be like,
out.
is
Yeah.
this what's gonna, and like after almost dying in that class, I'm like, love this. Don't know if I'm gonna be as consistent with Vogue until I can get my body in a place where I'm not hating my life. And
Hmm.
so I think that's too where I'm like, I want to continue to doing the gym so I can do stuff like that and feel more comfortable in
Mm.
doing it. So I've been like focusing on my core so that way I can like hold myself up and move myself down slowly.
Hmm.
Um, because voguing is a lot of like moving slowly and making different positions in a way where it's like artistic and you have to do it in a certain way. And I'm like, that's hard when you're
To
trying to
step
keep your
out.
body from shaking and from moving and you have to keep like this position for how long while your legs
Mm.
are doing another thing while you're like leaning backwards. And
Mm.
so like I think I'm doing things so that I am able to better find the things
Mm.
that will bring me that peace or that happiness. Yeah.
I just
It's
want to
such
say
a
it's
sad
totally
answer.
fine. No, it's not. But because that's the journey. Um I try to fight against I think that was my specific goal this year, not necessarily saying like trying to fight against this idea of like not having something to lean on, but I was bringing back stuff that I feel like I got like I said I got lost in the sauce, bringing back stuff that I feel like I know I enjoy, but didn't give the credit to. Like this year, I said, I'm gonna read 40 books. I know I like reading and I haven't been doing it like as much as I want. I'm gonna read at least 40 books this year. I'm gonna take a step. I'm on my 40th book. I'm almost done, by the way.
Here he is.
By the time this podcast episode comes out, I will be done. Maybe I'll hit 45. We'll see. Um, but then that brings me joy. Then I get to geek out with Sabrina and Summer and Nicole. Nicole, we don't really read all the same books. Because I'm a more of a romantic girl and Sabrina, Sabrina and Summer are romancy as well, or just fancy in general. But like whatever books we do read, we geek out. We read
Mm.
Daisy Jones and the Six together, like having a little book club moment. Um, Getting to actually take classes and experiences more this year compared to last year. Last year I did do an experience. So this year I did the performance series with Ailey. Last year I did the BDC summer training program. Listen, I
Mm.
couldn't afford it this year. Like I said, I went to Disney, but also the summer training program is like more than half of my rent. So I coughed it up. Shout out to college me because I was all those jobs. I saved enough to move out here and spend the money I needed to because of college me saving so much. But It wasn't gonna happen again because college me ain't me now. So at a certain point, we start running out of those funds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, the AD program, I think this is going to be a thing for me now because I actually get the performance experience on stage because for the BDC program, sorry, I'm kind of going off topic a little bit.
No, you're
BDC
good.
program is more performance video.
Mm,
That's something you could put in your reel, which is good. I could put the AD stuff in my reel. I need to confirm that. But like I don't know. I feel like 1400 you get your bang for your buck, yes, because you take 12 classes a week, and if you
mm,
multiply, and then you're taking specialized classes with people that usually don't teach at BDC. I got to have a mock audition with I can't think of his name right now. Christian. Right now he's on the Scarlet tour with Doja.
mm.
He's a Doja dancer, I would say at this point, but he dances all over the place. He's been on Broadway, ballet, Hispanico, tours. He's a dancer.
Yeah.
Like and in the ideal world, that's me where I'm not restricted to just Broadway or commercial, but being able to mix it
Mm,
up. Like he's even done the company world. Like there's three worlds and he's touched them all, which is really cool. And getting able to pick his brain and get that experience. So
yeah.
it was worth it at a certain point, but 14. I was like, I need a
It's a little
scholarship.
much.
Yeah, I was like, I need a scholarship or something. They denied me for the scholarship, but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, being able to just find those passions and interests, not necessarily that they were lost, but actually experiencing them properly again, I think
Mm.
is the cool part. And finding new things at a certain point. Aerial, I like aerial. Once
I
again,
want to try that.
expensive. We should do it together. I love it
I
so
want to try
much.
that.
I do it through ClassPass, so let me know because I
Okay.
could I could bring a free guest.
No, period. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to try aerial
when
silks.
I can get into a class though, because it's so popular. Um, but just little things like that where I'm not. I think for me, I realize I get sad very easily engulfed in work, and I'm like, if I haven't taken a dance class or just done something, even if I'm at home just dancing, doing a follow along video or something, like I'm not doing me. I'm not drawing or I'm not reading. Like this is what am I doing?
Hmm.
So that was the biggest thing of why I had to make sure I was no new passions discovered, but just like making sure the passions that I do have or the interests that I do have stay intact. Um, Out of curiosity, because in connection with that, those were goals I set for myself. Did you set any specific goals for 2023 that you achieved?
For me, it was the gym. I told myself that like I wanted to be consistent with it and I wanted to because I think like I don't know, I think a lot of my not even think, I know a lot of my insecurities and my um what's it called? I don't even know, self insecurity, whatever.
Yeah.
Or confidence. It was just like in my body. And so I wanted to feel better with my body.
Mhm.
And also like there was just like because of the medication I was taking, I had to take extra care of my body, all this
Mhm.
stuff. So I was just being very conscious with it. And I think that is one where I'm like, okay, I like kicked butt with this. Like
Mm.
when I hit 40 pounds, I lost 40 pounds. That's when I was like, oh, period. Like this is cool. Um, and I think another one was like just an overall goal was to get out of DC. Didn't think that was gonna be to New
To
York,
New
but
York.
here we are. And I think that one's the pretty big one. And that for how long I was saying it, I like growing
Mhm.
up was always like, that's where I'm gonna end up. And I thought I'd end up here when I was 30, but here I am 25.
Same, Daniel. Same. That's kind of crazy.
We're
Because I
just
tell
all
people that,
we're 25 over here. We're just existing.
yeah, because I was like, I remember I always tell people this. I was like, I remember even when I was at home after graduation, I was like, maybe I'll be in LA for like 3, 4, 5 years, to try to start my dance career over there. And then I'll move to New York because I'll be able to like get some coins together or something maybe and hop over. Because I was like, New York is pretty a distant
Yeah.
possibility. I was like, New York's really not gonna happen anytime soon. Also applying for jobs for like, you never know. You can see how that happened. But I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that because New York seems a little bit distant. Then I don't know. I be having moments where I'm like, hey, listen, that manifestation really happened. When I came in November 2021, I came by myself. Like I said, I'm a
Hmm.
by myself girl. I was walking around enjoying the fall leaves. And I was just like, this is it. Like, I can't. because you know, I currently my family is in the suburbans. Like you don't have nothing to do over there.
Yeah.
Um, and even when I did live like really, really in the Bay Area, like I'm gonna do go to Mickey D's, Food Max, like there's nothing like so I just love the experience and you just can never get bored here. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's the ADHD in me as well. Or just like I want to be able to,
Like there's everything to
you know,
do.
yeah, like let me go to a bookstore and vibe. Like so I remember I came and I lived by a freeway and I was on the freeway and I was like really looking around. I'm not gonna be too specific because I don't need people knowing where I exist, but you know where I exist. And
Mm-hmm.
I passed by that shopping location on the freeway and I was like, wow, this would be a perfect spot. Like this is a great spot to live in. Like this would be solid. This is cute. And where did I end up? The exact building I looked at on my way leaving New York to the airport.
Period.
So shout out to my mom because she found this place because we were both searching. I was stressed. I was like, I got a job. I don't have a
Yeah,
place to
I can
live.
only imagine.
I was like, where am I gonna go? She found this place and I love it. Like I love it. One day you gotta come.
I know. I have to go
Um,
visit.
but I know I'm in Queens. I'm far. You know, it'd be like that. Um, but actually it's not that bad. I love Queens. I don't think I would move out of Queens, fun fact. I don't think I
Really?
would, yeah, I don't think I would live in
Really?
Manhattan. I don't
I
it was
will
just
say it is living in Manhattan is a time.
Mhm.
I think I've gotten it's very much like La Jolla where like I'm in the bubble. I don't
Mm.
go past a certain like 72nd Street and above is where I live.
You're also kind of stuck because, and that's why I don't go up there that much because at that point when you cross over and then you go up because of the train systems, it's just too much work.
I will say like going out downtown is a journey. Is
Yeah.
a journey. Like
Hmm.
being this uptown and to go downtown to go out.
Yeah.
Like if I want to go to Brooklyn, I have to
Good luck.
my whole day.
Good luck.
My
How
whole
long does
day.
it take you? Have you ever went to Brooklyn from where you live?
To Brooklyn, the so since I've lived here, I've been to Brooklyn twice because of how
Makes sense.
far it is. But let's see.
While you're
Like,
looking at it, I'll let you know I'm next to Brooklyn, but because of the train system, I do not go to Brooklyn often as well. You would think so, but I
so
do
yeah,
not
just on the
drive.
train to the Brooklyn Bridge, it's 40 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad, Daniel. That's not bad. Search up, let me tell you mine. So from where I live to the Brooklyn Bridge, mind you, we're next to like Queens and Brooklyn are next to each other. So if I said home and I said you just typed in Brooklyn Bridge,
Oh
no
my God,
search.
you are far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
I
sir.
thought you were a
50,
lot closer
55
to
minutes.
Manhattan.
55 minutes. Yeah, no. If I want to, so for example, if I go to BDC, it takes me like 45. For me at this point, I'm like, that's not bad because people have it worse, and I've done worse. Mind you, I worked in the Bronx for the first half year I lived here, and that was the worst. I got off at 5:30, and I was not getting home sometimes till 7. It was tragic.
Are you closer to LaGuardia or JFK?
LaGuardia.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But JFK is the go-to. Um, but yeah, I might have told too much information. Don't be trying to find me. But
I
yeah,
mean, with how much I gave, they probably know where I work, where I live.
hello, an acclaimed,
And
yeah,
acclaimed prestigious institution.
right. Um, as we start getting closer to 2024, it's around the corner. What are your hopes and aspirations for 2024? Forget about resolutions, because I don't really say resolutions anymore
Hopes
either.
and aspirations.
Yeah, any specific goals you would like to share, and they don't have to be because I know there's some goals of mine that I'm not about to be putting out there on the
Yeah.
interwebs. But yeah,
I think mine, like going off on the gym again, just like getting back into consistency and getting in a place physically where like I'm happy. Um, but I think just in general next year, just like choosing things that make me happy.
Hmm.
And I think I'm just going to be more cognizant or like aware of what I'm choosing, and I'm making sure that I'm making decisions and saying yes to things that I want.
Hmm. Okay, that's good. So nothing specific, just like you just know generally this.
Because I know if I give myself specifics and it doesn't happen,
Mm.
I'm gonna be upset.
See, so what I've decided to do is go in with the energy of it's about to happen. If you know, and YOLO if it doesn't. For me, I'm gonna give some specific ones real quick because some silly-ish ones that seem a bit sillier. One, I'm gonna go to the either Oogie Boogie night at Disney, or I'm just go to Disney for Halloween season. I've never been, and I feel like it's a fun
It
time.
is my favorite.
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing out. That's the one season I've been for the holiday season, Christmas, and now I've been during summer. It's hot in Florida. Um, but I want to go for Halloween. I've said that for years, years. So I want that to be next year. Next year I want to travel out the country. My passport is collecting dust. Dust. I'm so mad. So like the years are going and it expires and then it gets got to get renewed. Luckily enough, I got the first one for free. Dab. Shout out to UC San Diego Study Abroad program. But
Mm,
I got lucky. That year they had a sponsorship with I can't think of their name. CIE, I believe. My passport
mm.
holder is their thing. But they paid for everybody who was doing a study abroad program that year, they paid for everybody's passport.
Now
I do not
that
take nothing for granted because yes,
that came in clutch.
it really did. Because what? But just like I said, like I'm the first person to really like go to Disneyland. My mom's never been out of country. She's barely been out of state. Like we've talked about this, I think too, but my mom and I, like my journey has also inspired her to journey outside too. I'm trying to get her to go out of country. We'll see. I think she could care less about going to like London and stuff. She wants to go to
Mm.
Jamaica. But I'm like, let's go to Jamaica then. Um, But she's more of a, sorry, once again off topic. She's more of a chill vacation girly. I like to
Uh,
move around
yeah.
and I'm what they call like a traveler versus a actual vacationer.
Hmm.
I think I'm more of a traveler. Um, but yes, I can vacation as well though. But I think that would be cool. So whether it be I don't know where this money's coming from, but whether it be going to London, I want to go to London for the Christmas season.
Mm.
That would be a great time. Um, I would like to go somewhere with my mom, if we can make that happen. Um, and then in general, I want my dance. I want to actually get paid to dance for something, whatever it is. I'm giving myself a very general goal. Like it doesn't have to be like my career shifts in one sitting, whether I get paid for a sponsor, not a sponsor, but whether I get paid to be in a Target commercial or an Old Navy commercial. I don't know. It's something I just really love those holiday commercials. And another holiday season has passed by and I'm still not on the screen. Just put me in a pajama set and let me dance in the fake snow. That's that's a random dream of mine, but I really want to be and
And
for
I
I
can't
really
wait
want to
to
be
see it.
yeah, I just really want to be in a holiday commercial for funsies, dancing on screen. Like I could do that. It's just I haven't had the access yet. I know I can. You get a little two-step. I got you.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I just want to get paid to like at least that first paycheck, whatever that looks like for to get paid to dance will be like even if it's like $200, and just like thanks for being here. Yeah, I got paid. I'm a professional. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it. That's what I want it to be. Um, but those are my main ones. As an introvert, tying it back in, I do want to start actually getting out the box a bit more. I say this, but it's important. And actually making more connections and networking and making more friends. I think I did great this year, by the way. Um, I added two, I would
Yeah.
say. So that's a good thing. Also too, I've also talked about I just don't be trusting people like that. Takes a minute. You know me. It
It
takes a
does.
minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
about to just be like, hey,
You didn't want to give me the time of day until a cute minute.
hey, listen, I was giving you the time of day, but it was like, hey, Daniel, how are you? Okay, that's great. See you later. Bye.
It took me a cute minute and then I was like, haha.
But it's funny though, because
And then I got you to New York with me, and I was like, period.
sir, it was in reverse. But yes, you are correct. I got
What
you
do you mean in
here.
reverse?
I
It was a
got you.
combined decision to come to New York.
It was just in different times. Okay, I'll give it to you different times. But yeah, that's usually how it is though. People say this, they always have the introvert friend is they always have the extrovert friend who's like, let's be friends. And then the introvert's like, and then that's how it happens because they keep
Yeah,
moving.
because you
That's
were
how it
like,
is.
Daniel, you're a little much.
You're not the only one though. So that's the thing. Because my other friend, shout out
I
to
love you
Fatima.
to disagree.
Well, yeah, hey, I'm not going to because sometimes extroverts can be like, but it's okay though because if I did not enjoy your presence, I wouldn't be
I wouldn't be here
talking
right
to
now.
you. Yeah, exactly. So that's how you know I'm a completely blunt person. I've discovered at this point. My mom is like, maybe you're a little too blunt, a little too honest. But I'm like, that's how you know you can trust me. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, but yeah, my friend Fatima, that's how we became friends in college. Extrovert. Hey, like comes in my we were suite mates, comes in the room.
Mm.
Hey, what you doing? Sits on the bed. Why are you sitting on my bed right now?
You're
And
like,
she
get
just
the
kept like,
shit
yeah,
off
like, are you
my
laying on
bed.
my bed? Oh, there's a hair on my pillow. Like things like that. And she was just like, we're friends. And I was like, we're friends. We're friends. And that's how it happens though.
Aaron.
Yeah, which is funny. But then you get she knew she would be she knew she was like poking, poking, poking. I'd be like, girl. But that's how it is. Which I think is so funny, the human experience. Um, how do you think you're gonna stay motivated and on track with your goals for the new year? And what's the goal to not get lost in the sauce?
I think just like reminding myself of like why I'm doing it. And I think that's what, especially right now, since I'm been managing like my mental health stuff, of like just reminding myself like I'm doing this to get better. I'm doing this so that I am happy. Because I think especially in the job I'm in, a lot of times I have to worry about everybody else's happiness and well-being.
Mm,
Um, that it's hard to focus on my own. So just reminding myself, and I know sometimes it's going to be hard because I might feel like um not narcissistic, but like what is
mm.
it when you what
I
is
don't
it when
think
you're like
um
selfish?
yeah,
Selfish. Like
yeah.
I can sometimes feel selfish for doing that, but I know that like I need to do that just for myself because I know there's people out there who are selfish and don't even think about it. And so I'm like, I can be like aware of it and know that like I need to be
Mm,
selfish for myself, even if it's just for like this week or this day or whatever.
yeah. I agree with that because I've had a an interesting balance with that. Um, I talked about this with Nicole on the Being Too Nice episode of finding a interesting, like I said, like balance of what does it look like to, yeah, I got you, I could do this, or hey, actually, I need to take care of myself. I know I'm not in the right position to help, or I agree with that because also in my job, I think any kind of job when you were in a school setting, you give a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was important for me, especially this year, to find like, no, I can give, but I'm only going to give so much because I also need to preserve myself. I've learned to be selfish, like, oh, hey, being the dependable one. Can you do this? Can you do that? No, no. And I've learned to be a little bit more hardcore. And maybe that's where I come off mean, but I think it's just preservation. Yeah. And I've had to be okay with that. So at this point too, I don't even think I'm saying I'm being selfish. I'm taking care of myself in order to, like I'm gonna do the expectations, the basic expectations, but I can't give you more than I can give.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes 100% sense. Um, okay. I have rapid fire questions for you.
Karen.
Um, let's make sure they're actually still rapid fire. Um, and I'll give you my responses as well. And they can be multiple sentences, so some of these will need to be multiple sentences. Okay. The word for the new year. What is your word for the new year?
Explore.
Ooh, same. I agree with that. I'm gonna steal the same thing. I'm gonna say travel, explore, but explore is better. Um, New Year food. What's your go-to New Year food?
Tamales.
It's a great choice. What's your preference?
I I
I'm
like
just
the green with
curious.
chicken. The
Okay.
green sauce with
Same.
chicken.
Yeah. I was curious too. I that is also my preference, but I'll go for both for sure. Um, my New Year food tends to be my mom cooks gumbo either yeah, it tends to be on New Year's now at this point. I love a good gumbo. You can't go wrong with that. So hopefully she wants to cook it again this year. I feel like we have it every year, even though sometimes she's like, "Oh, I get tired of it." I like it. Um, go to New Year's tradition. Do you have one, like eating grapes under the table or something?
Eating, we get not champagne, sparkling cider, and we put 12 grapes. And at
Mhm.
midnight, we eat the 12 grapes and drink the sparkling cider.
Do you sit under the table or you just eat the 12 grapes?
No, we just eat the grapes.
Okay, and then question. Here, I'm gonna ask this.
Yeah.
Do you need to eat the 12 grapes before it hits 12 or after it hits 12?
As soon as it says Happy New Year, you say Happy New Year, you drink it and you eat the grapes.
Maybe that's where I messed up. Because I ate grapes last year. I mean, this year was pretty successful. I listen, nothing, but I'm like, I feel like I wasn't doing it right. Eat the grapes, but I've also seen people eat grapes under the table. I don't have a table. I have a kitchen counter that has like an island thing. I sat under
Mm.
there. So that was it. Um, and then last but not least, for the listeners out there, any New Year's final thoughts, well wishes for the 2024 year ahead?
Take care of yourself and like do you. I think that has my biggest thing that I've learned is that like a lot of people are trying to satisfy or make other people happy or try to fit in by acting certain ways. And I'm like, that's exhausting. This year, like we're in an even year. Let's make the even year good. And like be yourself, do yourself.
Be yourself, do yourself. Spoken by Daniel. Yes. I 100% agree. I say challenge yourself. Push yourself out of the limits. Do what you've been thinking of but haven't stepped out and done it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Um, yeah, I would say that. Beautiful words, beautiful words. And hopefully you do that. I
Mm-hmm.
promise you, even there's a fear in stepping out, but once you do it, there's like this breath of fresh air you take, whatever that may be for you. So yeah. Thank you so much, Daniel,
Of
for coming on
course.
the season finale. Woo, woo,
Period.
woo. Yes, you'll be back for season two. Um, yeah, so super exciting. Season two will be a thing, so make sure once again that you're looking out on all the social medias for it. Listeners, feel free to share your 2023 highlights and hopes for 2024. This has been season one of the Introvert Social Hour. Please don't forget to follow, like this podcast to get notified when new episodes drop, aka when the season two drops. You can follow me at Kayvana on Instagram and the Introvert Social Hour on TikTok to stay updated as well. Get some sunshine, get some air, and have a wonderful holiday season and a happy, happy new year. I will see you next season on the Introvert Social Hour. Thanks for joining. See you next season.